You could do this question by taking each number in turn and finding a half and a third and a quarter and a fifth until you get two. But I'm going to do it like a more general way because that's what we're trying to work on in these sorts of challenges, improving and being able to cope with it if we weren't given multiple choice. So it's a half of a third, that's times a third, times a quarter, times a fifth, times some number, so I'll call that x, is equal to 2. We want to work out what x is. Now I'll show you a couple ways. So first way is you could multiply all these fractions together. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 4 times 5 is 20. 6 times 20 is 120. So you can kind of do it in pairs and then times those pairs together. So that means 1 over 120 times x is equal to 2. By the way, you can actually then write that as x over 120. This is something that sometimes people are not happy with, but you can think about it like x over 1. So it's 1 times x, and then 120 times 1. Okay, you can do that. We're basically finding a fraction of a number. So x over 120 is equal to 2, and therefore we just need to times by 120. X is going to be 240. In fact, if you did, often you don't get this with these questions, the fact that the first option is the correct one, because they make you kind of test them all. But if you had tested this one, halved it, and third it, and so on, then you would have got the answer straight away. Now, when I did it slightly differently. I didn't worry about kind of timesing the fractions together. I just straight away wrote that x was going to be, because I'm halving this, I could just double the other side. So 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 2. Okay, and then I got 120 from that. I think I did 12 times 20 times 2. You could also, if you don't, if you wanted to, instead of doing like the equations, you could say, right, I've got x, I'm halving it, so I'm dividing by 2, and then I'm finding a third, and then I'm finding a quarter, and then I'm finding a fifth, and that gives me 2. And therefore, to get back, you just do the opposite, times 5, times 4, times 3, times 2. Okay, I would recommend more of an equation approach, especially because like as the questions go later on when you've got x on both sides, this method kind of falls apart. But I just wanted to talk about it, just to help understanding.